The town of Berlin. Country charm at the center of Connecticut.
Good evening, everybody. We'll call our town council meeting to order at 7:04 on the clock. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The roll call.
Councilor Campanelli,
Here.
Councilor Evans, Mayor Kaczynski,
Here.
Councilor Letty,
Here.
Councilor Payanessa,
Here.
Councilor Rosette, here, Councilor Rosso.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. And Councilor Evans should be here in a couple minutes. So we'll just roll along here for the time. Audience of citizens, anybody wish to speak tonight to the council? I see no hands, so we will right on cue. Councilor Evans, perfect timing, Dave. All right, so we'll move on to our meeting agenda. Seeing no citizens wish to come forward tonight. We'll go to our consent agenda, and we have two topics in there. We can. Do you want to read those, Denise? Just read them before we.
You can.
Or you want to just vote on these?
Sure.
Go a motion.
Sure, I'll make a motion to accept the two consent agenda items that are listed before us.
Do we have a second on that? Okay. Any discussion? Any of these? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, on to new business. Topic 1. Denise?
Yes, this is the topic for the issuance or the approval of an ordinance appropriating $700,000 for the purchase of the fire vehicles as discussed at the last meeting, as well as the public hearing that was held on February 2nd. Our bond counsel, Joe Fazzi, is here present to answer any questions if there are further questions. There were none as of the public hearing, but this needs a adoption of the ordinance appropriating $700,000 for the purchase of the fire vehicles and the authorization for the issuance of the bonds of the town to meet that.
Okay, thank you. Have a motion on this?
Sure, I move to adopt an ordinance appropriating $700,000 for the purchase of fire vehicles and authorizing the issue of $700,000 of bonds to the town to meet said appropriation and pending the issuance thereof, the making of temporary borrowings for such purpose.
Is there a second for discussion?
No
Second.
discussion. No, you're going to vote on it.
We're just going to vote?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
don't say discussion.
Okay.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you. Second,
Second. Second. I think we had a second.
thank you. Okay. Now you can talk about it.
Okay. Okay. Any discussion? No discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Topic number 2.
This is a request by the Kensington Congregational Church, which is holding their 3rd annual Lobster Roll and Strawberry Shortcake Festival. This year it will be held on June 11th from 10 o'clock in the morning until 6 p.m. In the past, they have come before council for a waiver of the police fees, and at this time they are here seeking the waiver of the $150 charge for the planning and zoning application special event fee. I do have Mr. Aglio here from the group. This was sent to Helen Riggins, and this is the same event that they have had for 3 years.
Okay, great. A motion on this?
Okay, I move to approve the request by Gwen McCann of the Kensington Congregational Church to waive the planning and zoning application special event fee of $150 for a proposed lobster roll and strawberry shortcake festival.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion on this? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Good luck at the festival. I'm sure I'll see you there. Let's hope. Let's hope. You had a great crowd there last year, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Really? Great. That's fantastic.
lobster rolls are good. I'm
Great
very
food, yeah.
excited.
All the
Very
food is good
excited.
there,
June
yeah.
11th.
Good. Okay, topic number 3.
This is to do with the Noresco project and also the solar panels that are going on the schools. As part of that, we had thought that we had asked for an 824 review to put it before planning and zoning as required, and we realized that we had inadvertently not gotten the review, so we are seeking to have this sent to planning and zoning for the 824 review.
Okay, great. Motion on this?
Move to send the installation of solar panels on the McGee Middle School, Griswold Elementary School, Hubbard Elementary School, and the Willard Elementary School to the Planning and Zoning Commission for 824 review as per the Connecticut General Statutes.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 4.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
The city of Meriden is purchasing 30 acres of land that is located in the town of Berlin, which is also adjacent to their watershed property. This is land that's open space and not really touched in any way, but when land being purchased by one municipality is in the other, there has to be a resolution in support. I had sent this to both Corporation Council, well, he had sent it to me actually, and Mike DiLorenzo from the Conservation Commission just to get his input on it. This is a large parcel. It's in an estate right now. In the past, we have received only $100 in taxes on the property per year, so it's either categorized as open space or it's not worth very much, but this is something that Meriden would like to have adjacent and protecting their watershed property.
Okay. Motion on this?
Okay, move to approve the proposed resolution in support of the City of Meriden's purchase of the land known as the Rogos property located in the town of Berlin.
Okay, second?
There's a second.
Any comments or discussion on this?
Just
Questions?
a
Yes.
question.
Yep.
Will this still be town of Berlin? Still be within the town of Berlin?
Yes,
Okay,
it will just be owned by the City of Meriden.
all right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, it'll be like open, well, it's watershed, so it's not really open space, I guess it'll be, well, like, can people walk on it still, or you
I don't know
kind
that.
of stay off of it because it's reservoir property?
I think they own the surrounding area, and I don't know what they have for rules with that surrounding area.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But it just adds to a buffer and increases the open space in town. And as long as it's not inconsistent with our plan of conservation and development, I don't know that any towns have necessarily rejected this resolution. I think
Yeah, no,
It's kind of a formality.
okay. Good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Number 5.
As council knows, at your first meeting on November 17th, 2015, the contract with the Corporation Council of Bob Weber was extended to March
Bill's the other guy.
1st of 2016. We have gone out to bid and received the bids responses back, but it'll take a little longer to get people in to interview and get everything in order. So we're just seeking to extend this until the first meeting in April to take care of what needs to be done before then.
Okay. Motion on this?
Okay. Move to extend the contract with Weber and Carrier LLC until April 5th, 2016.
Second?
Second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. So now we'll move on to H2 appointments. We have still some appointments that we've been looking at and going over. The first 2 we're going to pass right now. I don't know if we even had anybody with the Conservation Commission. The second one, the Environmental Protection Advisory, apparently nobody's been on that for a while. So we'll have to maybe look at some of these and see what they don't even meet, I guess, the Environmental Protection Advisory Commission. So we'll look at that down the road. And that brings us to the Historic District Commission. So a motion on, or a nomination on that.
Sure, I would like to nominate Amy Prescher. I hope I said that right.
Okay, any other nominations? Hearing none, vote on Amy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, congratulations to Amy. We have 4 and 5, we have 2 alternate vacancies, but
We have one.
do we have one?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we have one right there, okay.
I'd like to nominate Palma Pethigal.
Okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none, vote on the alternate nomination. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That motion carries. Next is inland wetlands.
I'd like to nominate James Palladino.
Okay. Any other nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Bob Neiman, who is the sitting chair of Inlands and Wetlands.
Okay. So we'll, I guess, what do we vote on each name, I guess, right? So we'll take a vote on James Palladino. All those in
I'm gonna
favor?
give you,
Oh,
uh,
no, I'm sorry,
roll
I'm sorry.
call.
Roll call, yes, okay.
Okay, and
Yes.
then you announce who you like.
Okay, yes.
All right. Councilor Campanelli,
Neiman?
Councilor Evans,
James Palladino.
Councilor Aluddy,
James Palladino.
Councilor Payanessa,
James Palladino.
Councilor Luchette,
Neiman.
Councilor Rosso,
Neiman.
and Mayor Kaczynski.
James Palladino. So,
He passed.
he passed, yes, okay. All right, thank you for the assistance as well. We're gonna just pass on number 8 for now, for that alternate.
Even though we have an application, we're gonna leave seats vacant on the commission.
Well, I guess we're still looking at some names too.
We have 2 more, 8 and 9.
We do
Right,
have
we
two.
have two
We have
vacancies on the commission, and we're gonna pass when someone wants to serve. Just wanna
Right.
be clear on that.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
we can handle it next meeting.
Okay.
The commission, I believe, is full other than the alternates, correct?
Right, but those seats are available with an application, so I just wanna be clear, we're not gonna fill those.
Well, I'm not saying we're not gonna fill them, we might just not fill them tonight,
Okay.
okay? Okay, number 10, Plainville Area Cable Television. 10 and 11, I guess nobody's ever on that apparently, right? Do we even know what they do?
Yes, they really handle like the nutmeg and the cable
Okay.
and all that other bit, so they're like an advisory commission.
Okay.
But the meeting is in, is it Bristol, where nutmeg is? Farmington. And it's on the like far end, it's a 20-minute ride for people to get to.
Has anyone ever been on them from
Yes.
town? We have?
They have, but
Okay.
it's been a long time.
Okay. I mean, I didn't see anybody chomping at the bit to get on. I mean, so I don't think we had any applications, right?
No,
That I saw.
none. None.
All right, well, we'll pass on those 2 for now. Number 12, Planning and Zoning. We have a nomination.
I'd like to nominate Diane Jorsey.
Okay. Any other nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Mark Pearsoliti,
Okay.
sitting member.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do,
Okay. Councilor Campanelli,
Parcelletti,
Councilor Evans,
Diane Jorsey.
Councilor Luddy,
Diane Jorsey.
Councilor Payanessa,
Diane Jorsey.
Councilor Rashad,
Parcelletti?
and Councilor Russell,
Parcelletti.
and Mayor
Wow.
I almost
going
had a
back a
real
while.
friend.
oops.
Kaczynski, excuse me.
Uh,
I've been
that-
around too long.
Diane Jorsey.
I think I've been here the longest. Oh, sorry about that, thank you.
It's fine. All right, thank you. So, Diane Jorsey passes. Okay, 13, VNA vacancy. We have a couple vacancies. We have a couple names for both vacancies, apparently.
I would like to nominate Pauline Matson.
Okay, we have one nomination. Is there a second nomination? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, VNA vacancy.
I'd like to nominate Esther Veely. Hope I said that right.
Okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Water control, we have an alternate. Gonna pass on that right now. I think we actually had anybody anyway, did we? Oh, I didn't see anybody.
Not that I remember.
I don't think I saw anybody, so we'll look for somebody for that alternate. 16 and 17, we have two people, for, one for each.
I'd like
Nominations
to
for 16.
nominate Donna Veach.
Excuse me,
Is that?
can you do for number 16, you
Mhm.
want to have Ally,
Oh, okay.
okay, and then for number 17 would be Donna Veach.
Okay.
Donna Veach is going to be the nonprofit rep,
Okay.
okay?
We got it
Thanks.
backwards.
All right, that's all right.
Okay. So for 16, it will be Ally Rydell. Is that how you say that? Okay.
Okay, we have one nomination. Any other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. And number 17.
I'd like to nominate Donna Veach.
Okay, any other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And number 18. Zoning Board of Appeals, alternate. Have a nomination on that?
Well, oh,
Yeah.
I'd like to nominate Gary Paul.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Ryan Zellick.
Awesome.
Okay. We have two, so, okay, so we'll do,
Councilman Campanelli,
Ryan Zellick.
Councilor Evans,
Gary Paul.
Councilor Letty,
Gary Paul.
Councilor Pianessa,
Gary Paul.
Councilor Rashad,
Ryan Zellick.
Councilor Rosso,
Ryan Zellick.
On the second.
and Mayor Kaczynski.
Gary Paul. Sorry.
Like last month.
Okay, Gary Paul. Gary's,
Does he have an application?
It's probably from the prior time.
it
and
was
maybe-
a prior one.
Yeah.
Was
the
it for
second-
this commission?
Was
I
it
just-
for this? I don't think it was for.
I think it was for a different commission.
Yeah, I don't know if he was supposed to email. I don't know if he ever emailed, but
didn't-
we can check
How
on
can
that.
we,
How can
how
we-
can we vote on something without?
I did have a conversation with him, but he was supposed to email.
Yeah, but we all
did.
need to see
Yeah.
a document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can hold off on that if we need to. You tell me.
There's no need to, I mean, you saw the application prior. I didn't include it because I didn't know he wanted to be on ZBA. It's up to your decision.
I
You
think.
know,
We'll,
I mean, he had sent a prior one, I think.
yeah, for,
For a different-
another
But it
one,
was
right?
for a different
commission.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
commission.
So he
Right.
technically has no application in.
Yeah.
For this
For this.
For
commission.
ZBA?
I mean, could we consider any of these applicants for any of these commissions?
I
Because
thought-
if that's the case, that,
Yeah.
that sort of changes things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's not something that I knew was acceptable until this moment, so I feel kind of
We
like
could wait
that's
for his
not fair.
application if that's the safer way to go.
Well, I
Council.
mean, there's nothing in the charter that says how you have to apply or whether you have to apply in writing. You just have to nominate somebody. I think and we have, as I recall, going back years, there have been times where they didn't have the actual application, but they knew somebody was interested and they appointed someone. The reason you do the application is so for familiarity, seeing the history. Is it an absolute mandate? Probably not. I mean, you could nominate somebody, and then it's up to the council. Now, you've nominated him. You'd have to rescind your vote if you want to wait.
Right. It's happened in the past.
The applications that, the votes have usually been on somebody that's already been sitting,
Right.
not somebody who's new.
Okay.
But at the same point, as, you know, the Corporation Council has said, this has just been the tradition, that we ask for applications so that you have you have some knowledge of the person. There has been some times when people will kind of move on where they want to be, but it's up to, I mean, you know, I don't know if it would be better to wait on this and rescind the vote and then take it up at the next one, or you did vote on it.
It's up to you.
We can do that. We can rescind it. I don't. If that's been the consistent policy, then I don't think I have any problem with that. We'll just go ahead and make sure he gets something in.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. I
You
try to
just
get.
ask him to email me or
I tried to get him to do that. And I don't think he did though.
Okay.
So. Yeah, we'll.
How interested
So.
could he be?
So.
How
What
do
do we?
serve on a commission if you can't submit an
What do
application?
we? He might be out of town. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, that
whatever,
happens.
whatever the reason. I mean, we'll follow with tradition, and we'll go ahead and do that. So, how do we?
Okay,
Uh,
motion to rescind.
Okay.
Okay, motion to rescind nominating Gary Paul for spot number 18 there, zoning board of appeals.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so we'll rescind that. We'll revisit that next meeting. We'll get some paperwork from Mr. Paul. Number 19.
I would like to nominate Ryan Zelek.
Okay, the nomination. Any other nominations? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Town manager report.
We have lots of news today. As you may or may not be aware, on Sunday, the town of Berlin had a problem for some of the residents in the Lower Lane, Farmington Avenue, Worthington Ridge area. CNG experienced a break in a regulator valve type thing in their, so they were unable to provide heat for all of the residents in that area. Well, not all, but the houses that had not been upgraded. There were several streets in the area that had been already upgraded to the new pressurized system, apparently, that were unaffected, like Brandegee Lane, Wildham Road, but Patterson Way, parts of Lower Lane, Madison Drive, Westview Terrace, all of those were without power. So we were able to open the shelter at McGee Middle School at about 8 o'clock Sunday morning. We got the word out as much as we could, both on social media. The police did the reverse 911 calls, and we contacted individuals that we have on our special registry list from the elderly, and told them that the shelter was open. We had food and coffee, and no one came. So we were open all day, just in case, because we knew that it was
I
going
guess
to
they
get
weren't cold.
colder.
That's a good thing.
The gas company couldn't have been more responsive. The president of the company came down from Massachusetts to the command center here in Berlin. They went door to door. They had to have at least 50 to 60 people doing what needed to be done, because they had to go to each house affected. And once the service had been shut off, they had to restore it and check each house and business. So they were able to do that, with the exception of one who the individual was inside and said he had an oil tank and no gas, so he refused entry, and we're not sure whether he has oil or gas, but the gas company still had them listed as a gas customer. But I know of several problems that happened with some of the businesses having pipes freeze and things, but that's with their insurance carriers and CNG, but they couldn't have been more cooperative and helpful during the whole, as were the police and also staff. I really have to commend the staff that came in on a Sunday, on Valentine's Day, all day to sit and wait for people to come that didn't come over.
Can I also just add to that? I
Yes.
had a lot of comments from citizens about the fire department too,
Yes.
being extremely responsive. When they couldn't get through to CNG, the fire department responded right away. So just wanted to add them to the list.
And they've
as
been
well.
continuing to respond for broken pipes and flooded basements. And unfortunately, the second thing that I have to report is that this morning at 2 o'clock in the morning, a pipe burst in the ceiling at Peck Library, and water poured down not only in the children's area of the library, but down to the community center. The front offices there were affected, the pool room, as was the actual
now a
office for the
swimming pool room.
recreation. Yeah, now it's a indoor pool room.
We finally have a swimming pool.
So they
Much reduced cost, too.
despite the best efforts of facilities, because on Sunday, the staff of the facilities checked every school, every building in town, heated pipes that were questionable and covered pipes that they thought might be exposed, and this was something that they couldn't even see, so they didn't even have a clue that it was there and capable. It will be hopefully processed by our insurance company, but there's a substantial amount of damage to the carpeting and some books and perhaps some computers. The computers have been sent out to a special company to see if they can be dried out and reused. A couple of them were not affected. It's hopeful that the adult section of the library will be able to open even while the repairs have to be made to the children's section. The community center meeting rooms were not affected, but the bathrooms were, so it couldn't be opened, but we're making arrangements to get that up and running because there were a lot of people that came to use the weight room, which was not affected. The back meeting rooms were not. The book sale room doesn't appear to have been affected, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was not pleasant. The other thing I just wanted to report on, we get a report on a 6-month or so basis. Back in September of 2013, the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities had provided a program for prescription drug usage, and this has been a very successful program. It has saved in the last 2.5 years our residents over $70,000, and they would like us to re-advertise this program. So I'm starting this evening, and I will also be sending out both on our website and perhaps putting an article in the paper about how people can come in and get a card so that if they have prescriptions, even prescriptions for pet medication might be covered, and there's a substantial discount if you use the card from CCM in conjunction with a company that has worked with all of the local drugstores and Stop and Shop in other areas where you can get prescriptions in town to save some monies for our residents. So it's an awful lot of money in just 2.5 years. They feel that the need has somewhat been curtailed because of the Affordable Care Act and people having access to prescription coverage that didn't when this originally went into place, but they are still available so that if there are people who have difficulties with some prescriptions, this might be the answer. So I wanted to just
Great.
start tonight so that if people are watching.
That's great. Anything we could save our seniors some
Denise,
money on prescription drugs, that's great.
can I ask a question on that?
Yep.
Can people use it even if they have coverage through a carrier, if they're in their deductible
I
phase?
think they
Let's say
can.
They can use that discard card as well.
What I would suggest is you get a card, and if you have an HSA and something that you have a deductible, you bring the card with you and always present it because you might be entitled to something. So I would say yes. I don't know that 100%, but it doesn't hurt to ask or have it.
I just wanted folks to know it's
Yep.
not just for folks who don't have coverage.
Any coverage.
Yeah.
Great. I just wanted to comment too on the gas leak. I know Denise did a great job, and the town staff, and the police department, the fire department, and I had a chance to visit the CNG command center there on Washington Avenue, I guess it is. And I never saw so many CNG trucks, so they certainly came out in force, and they had quite a response to the town. So that's great. I didn't know they had that many trucks, but they had a lot of trucks there and a lot of people, and they were working hard. And I think that was about, I got there maybe 2:33, but I think it was pretty much done, right? They had it done
Pretty
within
much.
like 6-7 hours
Yeah.
from the time you had called me and it was reported. So
They had estimated that power wasn't going to be restored till about 7 o'clock, and we closed up shop around 3:30 or 4 because they had fully, at least all of the residents, they were still working on some of the businesses that were closed and they couldn't gain access to at that point, but no one was in need of the shelter, so they
and I
were
guess
much
I
faster.
guess they're upgrading
Yes.
from what he told me, they're upgrading the gas mains, which once they're, I guess,
Hopefully
more
this-
pressure fed, a little bit out of my area of expertise, but as he explained it to me,
Yeah.
he said that should not be a problem going forward, although with weather that cold, things do happen no matter what.
I know.
But they are working on making sure that does not happen again. So thanks to everybody involved. Okay, great. Special committee reports?
Mayor?
Yes.
Just for our entire council here, just a reminder, in 2 weeks is our next council meeting, but following that day on Wednesday at 6 o'clock, we'll be in the Board of Education room to start off our budget sessions. And if there's any particular interest or concerns you have between now and then, please let me know. And we have a meeting that Wednesday and Thursday, and then we follow into the next week. And those, again, starting at 6 o'clock. And we'll try to move through those as expeditiously as possible and highlight the things that are important for us to understand. Thanks, Mayor.
Great. Anybody else? Nothing? Yes.
Denise, you had a tentative meeting scheduled for capital improvements. I don't know if that's going to happen. The reason I bring that up because I did get a call from one of the coaches at the high school, and I've been kind of a little tardy scheduling a fields committee again. We're kind of waiting for that meeting. It was a spring sport, and they have some concerns, and
With
I just don't know which way to go with that.
With the schedules of everyone involved, I haven't been successful in getting a date. We had thought it might have been last week, but then that wasn't possible with everyone's schedule. But now I'm sort of looking at maybe during the budget hearings, but that makes it harder. I'm considering a Saturday, but I know that that's painful. But
See what everybody
it might be the
painful.
easiest because weeknights have started to be a little difficult to. So, and I can schedule a playing fields committee meeting if you wish before that, because we could even do it the night
Talk
of
to Jim Capidy, see
March
if they have
1st.
anything. Might be a
But
good
the
idea.
meeting-
Pardon me?
The meeting on the, was it the first?
March 1st is our council meeting. We could have one right before, but that's only the playing fields again. So you're right. I've been trying to schedule several meetings.
No,
and
we've been trying.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's difficult. Well, maybe we can, if there's a Saturday that, I know we all love giving up our Saturdays, but if there's a day that we could all fit it in, maybe that's the way to go.
I'll bring
Because I know we
food.
got a lot of meetings in March that, I don't know.
Yeah,
if we
I
can really
know.
add much to that schedule, but it's kind of brutal, right? But, so we'll try.
Yeah.
We'll pick a Saturday
Okay.
and give it a try anyway. Okay, Counselor Communications, yes, sir, Peter.
From time to time, there's articles in the paper. Some are very good and some are awful. And I just want to mention one last week that was really awful. And that's the passing of Harry Pentor from the Town Food Center. Harry, I consider one of our town fathers. He goes back to the quintessential local grocer who, when you went to his store, fortunately it wasn't the case in my family, but I know families who left there with more goods than they paid for, and I know I never left without a box of animal crackers, and I know that's the norm for Harry. Harry is a local, born and raised in Berlin, graduated Berlin High, and interesting enough was an MP at the Los Alamos, New Mexico Manhattan Project. And he was one of the first to witness an atomic explosion. He was a member of St. Paul's, the Connecticut Grocers Association, the Knights of Columbus, and the Berlin Lions. As a Lion, he was a Melvin Jones Fellowship, which he did over 50 years, perfect attendance in the club. And he was also a Knight for the Blind with Knights of Columbus. So for that reasons, I just wanted to, I think it would be a misjustice not to mention Harry, and if you deem worthy to have a moment of silence.
Absolutely. We can do that. Silence. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I did read that. That was interesting about his MP duty there, and witnessing what he must have witnessed was pretty incredible. So sorry to see him pass on. Any other Counselor Communications? Anything else? No? We're good? All right, so let's go on to our acceptance of minutes. We have two here. If you guys have reviewed them, take a motion to accept the February 2nd.
I move to accept the February 2nd, 2016 meeting minutes.
Second?
A second.
Any questions on that or issues? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Abstain.
One abstention. Thank you. Rachel? And so moved. The February 4th.
I move to accept the meeting minutes from February 4th, 2016.
Okay. All those.
I have a second on that, Mayor.
What's that?
I have a second for
Second.
that, Mayor.
Second, yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Yes, another, I see that, right there. Very good, thank you. Thank you. Okay, motion carries, thank you very much. All right, so we are now going to move into our executive session. It is 7:40, so we'll have obviously the council along with Denise McNair, Bob Weber, Helen Riggins, and John Zook. We could make a motion for that?
Motion to go into executive session for real estate, discussion of the selection of a site, sale, or purchase of real estate by the town on Southington Road.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will move into executive session. If we could clear.